So we're gonna get into this video because I know you guys have been like, where the fuck has Kaliyyah been? Where did Kaliyyah go? And you know what? We're gonna save that for another time. That's not even important right now. But I felt inclined to get on here and do a video today. I can't even really put into words what the energy is really about, but you know, as you can see, certain shit just don't change. You know, like before I turned this fucking camera on, wasn't nobody walking by, wasn't nobody driving by. Y'all gonna see as I start channeling, picking up the message and trying to get this message out, you're gonna see more cars drive by, you're gonna see more people walking by. There was literally nobody in this area until I just turned on this fucking camera. But anyway, if you know, you know. But what can I say? All I can say really is God is amazing.
Good job.
Confirmation. And there's a little boy driving by, not driving, but he's riding a bike. And I guess he just learned how to ride a bike. And it was that lady that walked by that said, good job. So that could be of significance too. You know, maybe some of you have recently taken a leap of faith, right? And God is telling you, good job. Like, good job. You know, it's been a long journey. You know, it's been a long journey of you trying to find your balance, get your head above water, feel like you are being consistent and disciplined and sticking to a plan for some of you. And I feel like you've finally gotten your rhythm. You finally gotten your flow, your motion. Like, you feel balanced. You know, you feel confident in your step. And this could be just recently. This could be just recently out of nowhere you get a burst of inspiration, or just out of nowhere you get a burst of energy. And it's like, is this gonna last forever? Where did this energy come from all of a sudden, you know? Where did this inspiration come from all of a sudden? Where did this creativity come from all of a sudden? Don't question it. Just be grateful for it. Just be present in it. Just allow it to flow naturally, right? Here comes more people. And you know, when I used to do these videos, I used to say, you know, there's so many spiritual watchers or whatever, but yeah, you have spiritual watchers, spiritual spies and shit, but sometimes people are naturally just pulled to high vibrational energy. They're naturally pulled towards the light, you know? So me as a vessel, when I open myself up to receive the guidance of the Most High, that's an open portal of light that's shooting up. You know, it's almost like what do you call it? Like a beam of light in the sky, just waving around like a motherfucking Batman symbol. Like, hear ye, follow the fucking light. That's what it feels like when I open myself up to God, and when I'm in these modes of channeling and getting these downloads. Hear the ducks? Getting these downloads. It's like people just gravitate towards that light energy, and they may not even know where it's coming from, who it's coming from, or what direction to walk in, but they know to just, I don't know, follow their intuition, follow the fucking light, you know? Maybe from a soul level, is something magnetically pulling them in that direction, right? So every time I start these readings, here comes more people. It's like they flock to the light, you know? But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So everything is about a perspective shift, right? You change your perspective, you change your life, pretty much. So I'm choosing to look at things in a more positive light, you know. Of course, don't walk around wearing rose-colored glasses, you know, thinking everything is peaches and motherfucking cream, because it's not, okay? It's not. You know, you still have to be on your toes and have discernment, because you have a lot of individuals that will show up in the form of light, you know, with good intentions, but behind that flesh, you know, is a dark entity or low vibrational spirit, you know, with the intentions to target, attack you, or slow you down, you know. So just always, you know, keep your antennas up, you know, but keep your heart open as well. You know, have an open heart when it comes to new people, places, and things presenting themselves at this time, right? It's a lot of death and rebirth that is happening at this time, right? I also feel like time has slowed down tremendously, right? We about to be in November, and it's still motherfucking green leaves on these trees, like, and even the leaves that have changed color, they haven't fallen. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, by now, you know, especially where I'm at, like up north, the leaves would have fallen by now. Like, the trees would have been bare by now. But it's like the seasons are changing slowly, right? I feel like for a lot of you, a lot of us, you know, God is like almost like buying us more time. And I know that sounds like, what, how can, but seriously, it's like either time is being slowed down for us to catch up energetically, because whatever it is that he has done, he did it a long time ago, right? Whatever it is that you've been manifesting, it already happened. It already manifested. Whatever it is that you prayed for, it's already waiting. It's waiting for you to energetically catch up to it, right? So with that being said, the energy, the time has to be slowed down. Otherwise, you'll never match that vibration. You'll never catch up to where you need to be on this journey to pursuing and reaching and touching and actually feeling and seeing the manifestations. Some of them you've probably even forgotten. You even forgot that you prayed for this. You forgot that you prayed for this. And another thing that the angels were telling me last night was that even though God has his plan, you know, the universe has its own plan, you know, everything is pre-scripted and mapped out, and, you know, you come with the blueprint already, right? They still have to give you everything that you ask for, right? It's just law. You ask, you receive. So it's not that the things you are trying to manifest, you know, for your benefit are not coming in. It's just that you have to be very mindful of your thoughts and the things that you speak over your life and the things that you are asking for or questioning out loud, right? Because the universe has no choice but to respond to those requests, right? So you might say, okay, I don't know if I could give an example, right? You might say, all right, God, I want a partner, I want marriage, and I want this beautiful, beautiful relationship. You know, I want to grow old with someone or whatever, right? God already done wrapped this person up in a bow. It's already, this person's already ready, set, go. Is what I heard. Ready, set, go. They ready to come towards you. But your thoughts, your intentions, you know, your words, your feelings, your emotions is still centered on someone else who in this present moment you view as your end all be all person, right? It's like you've put someone in a box, right? And you don't see any other possibility or any other end result, because you feel from your heart space that this person is my end all be all. This person is the person I'm going to grow old with or whatever, because there is a familiar energy, because the energy is easy, is effortless, is flowing. I have such this strong magnetic connection to this person. This has to be the person that, you know, God is preparing for me. But the thing is, when God sends in a kingdom spouse, they already come prepared, right? Like I said, he wrapped them up in a bow, right? This is your gift, right? All you got to do is unwrap it. But everything that you want is inside that gift box. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to come broken. God is not going to bring you a gift that is broken into pieces, right? God has handcrafted this gift, and he done wrapped it up in fragile bubble wrap. Okay, and he made sure that it got to you in one piece, right? He made sure that this individual was whole within themselves before they came towards you, that they were prepared, that they were ready for you, that they were groomed for you and you only, right? So we may be so fixated on one specific individual being our end all be all, but really they were the stepping stone, right? They were a part of this process of your grooming, right? You meet certain individuals for different seasons, right? Every person has their season. Every person has their reason in your life. But each of these individuals, if this is in your love, the love cycles you've been through, each and every one of those people have groomed you to be ready and prepared for your kingdom spouse, right? But what you do is you slow down this energy from coming in that is whole, that is in one piece, that is complete. When you decide to remain attached to something that was only supposed to be a temporary fix, you know what I'm saying? It was only here to fix a certain piece of you that was broken, right? Because we can't do all of the healing on our own. You know, sometimes it takes God to bring in certain individuals to break up and shake up the energy, because we think that we have it all figured out, right? It's very hard for you to dig deep, you know, put that knife in your back and force it in and twist it, you know what I'm saying? Or even pull it's hard to pull a knife out your back, right? It might be easy to put that knife in your motherfucking back, but pulling that bitch out, it's very hard to do that shit on your own, right? So that's that 10 of swords energy. You might have 10 different swords in your motherfucking back. So God gonna send 10 different people, and each of them gonna pull a different sword out of your back. And each of them swords represent a trauma, a pain, or a trigger that you needed to resolve or fix or heal. That wound needed to be closed, right? So you may be on your last sword. This last sword needs to be removed from your back, right? But if you notice, each person that pull that sword out your back, they don't stick around to clean up the wound or to stitch it back together. That's for the next person to do, right? So you got one sword left, right? And you have this wound in your back. The rest of them has been closed up. You know, the other 9 wounds have been closed up, sealed up. You know, the stitches are healing. You can finally take the stitches out. The bleeding is going, but you have this one last wound that you need to work on, right? And for a lot of you, you have done the work, you know, and you've done the work, or you've realized, or you've cleared out this karma because of a certain individual in your life you've been in this long, overdrawn love cycle with, right? They already pulled that sword out. So now you're sitting here with an open wound, right? And you're waiting and you're expecting this person to clean that wound up, to stitch it up, to tend to it, to give you everything that you need to feel whole again. But it's not their responsibility to do that. It was only their responsibility to pull that sword out of your back. It's your kingdom spouse who is coming in, who is going to close that wound up for you, right? that's going to seal up that last bit of karma. You know, that last bit of pain that you were carrying. Right? And once your kingdom spouse comes in and seals that wound up, it's going to be like none of the wounds ever existed. None of the pain ever existed. None of the resentment ever existed. None of the betrayal ever existed. You may be left with scars, but that person is going to love on your scars. They're going to love on you so deep. They're going to love on you so deep. So if you feel like things are like really, really slow for you right now, it's because it's time. You know how they say when you meet your person and it's almost like time stands still, time slows down? That energy is present even before you've met them physically. There's like a stillness in the air right now. Like not one leaf is moving on any of these trees right now. Like time is frozen, time has stood still. And it's standing still, or it's slowing down for you and this individual to meet finally. Your kingdom spouse is closer than you think. They're closer than you think. Almost too close for comfort. Almost too close for comfort. So I need you to relax. I need you to motherfucking relax, okay? And just be still. Relax and be still. You are not doing anything wrong. You are right where you need to be. You know what you're doing, you know where you're going, and you know how to do what you're doing. God has already given you the instruction. God has already given you the plan. Don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess your passions. Don't second guess the things that you truly love to do, and don't give up on your dreams. Don't stop. Don't never stop believing in yourself. I don't care what's thrown at you. Never, ever, ever stop believing in yourself. Right? Because God has a sense of humor, and he will come in and shock the fuck out of you just because you doubted him and was afraid to admit it. But he never stopped loving you, you know? He understands that life is hard, you know? But he knew you were strong enough for the battles you've been through, the struggles you've been through, the betrayals you've been through. He always knew that you would overcome it, right? So on the other side of all of that, When you look back at your past, you just like, God, what was the point? What was the point if you're going to give it to me anyway? It's because if God had given it to you sooner, you wouldn't know how to appreciate it. So just have gratitude at this point in time. Just have gratitude. I felt like I don't know. I'm just on here talking to you guys. Like, I don't. Just have gratitude, right? And not from a space of like, okay, let me have gratitude so that this can come in. Have gratitude because it's already here, and because the overwhelming amount of joy and happiness that is going to be overflowing in your cup, you ain't gonna even you're not gonna have to look. I can't even talk. You're gonna be fucking speechless. Okay, you're gonna be fucking speechless when you see what God has in store for you. So give your thanks now, because it's gonna be a moment in time you ain't gonna be able to stop thanking God. You ain't gonna be able to. All the tears of pain are gonna be tears of joy. You may cry every single day just out of tears of joy. Congratulations. I'm gonna leave it here.